The soft velvet night fell upon an empty seaside tourist resort, its customers having fled the onslaught of crazed creatures.
Yeah, they are pretty crazed. Look at that. They won't leave me alone. Alright, who's about to get this death spell? You are. Who's about to get the ice spell? You are. Who's about to get the fire spell? You are. Yeah, so I find with these guys, like, the easiest way to take them down is really to lure them all to one spot and then blink away. I just find it pretty entertaining to just try to pick them off as I'm moving around, though. But probably the best way to take them down is actually a really good technique to use is as you go on later on in the game. Crap. Oh man, so many of them. Gosh, they just keep on coming and coming. What in the world? I don't remember this many of them spawning before. Alright, so anyway. So yeah, as you go on later on in the game, there's going to be like tons and tons of monsters just building up on the map basically at one time. So I find a nice technique to use is if you lure those exploding like scorpion like things into like one spot near actually like maybe like a boss monster or a mini boss monster I should say, and then blink away as they explode, they'll actually deal damage to the other monster, to the mini boss monster as well. Which that's kind of one cool thing about 9 parchments is everybody takes damage. It's not like, oh, you know, there's not anyone really excluded from it. Unless you change it in the settings. You can change the damage factors, like when you're playing online or if you're playing in team mode, basically. But yeah, I usually keep my settings set to everyone takes damage. If you play it with a group, which is what I did the very first time I started playing, it's actually a whole lot more fun.
The tropical beach hadn't dissipated, even if the hour was dark and late. But it could be ignored for the sake of the parchments.
He keeps talking about these parchments that I'm not going to get until like 2 more maps or so. That was actually a pretty cool move that I just did right there. Like all the death monsters like came into one spot and I just threw down my life circle and stayed inside of it. I actually received a healing bonus and they died due to the opposite attribute. This map is actually a pretty fun map. It's pretty simple. It's pretty much target practice. Like these guys run at you, but their life is really like their life spans are pretty small, so they're not much of a threat so much. Now these guys can take you out occasionally if you're having trouble dodging some of their attacks, though. Bring around the rosies. Gosh, these guys are eager. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe I did it without ever blowing up that barrel back there. Whee! Success, success. Alright guys, see you on the next level.